So when we were talking about the Manoke areas, this villages we are seeing here, we have the artist Doren Dry Township, which is over 6,000 RV and other things that I was showing in my presentation. Yes.
Okay.
So where we are, this is proclaimed township, extension 2 and 3. Everything is done. That's why you see we are putting infrastructure. And the infrastructure we are being funded by NPPG. We have secured funding for water reticulation. Sewer we are still negotiating. So as municipality we have taken initiative to say the contractor must go on the ground. When funding comes, we offset what we have spent. I don't know, CM, did I miss something?
Where does it end from this side?
That road which goes to practice here, coming this way, that's the mashifane part.
Okay.
All the way up to the Steelport River.
Okay.
This is Steelport. Yeah, Steelport
River.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And immediately
the other side of the river?
Immediately after the river, there is a new township, we call it Extension 95.
Okay.
Yeah, it is owned by All About Group. All About Groups are the people who are owning that hospital. You see the newly built hospital there is still work in progress, and the mall. Somewhere around August, September, they're also going to start with the construction of services. So they are planning to put about new schools, which will cost about 200 million. Light industries as well, including more than 500 airvans for housing, because we'll be having doctors and everybody. So this land will stretch towards the edge of R555. We are also acquiring another land towards Motagane, which will join the city itself. We are speaking with the Fori family over that. We just need to finalize a few things. We also wrote to the Cockstad to assist us with the acquisition. Just after R555, there is a Vanderberg family as well. They are also alienating the land to us. All these lands, they've got water rights. All what they need to do what you call water right rezoning. Because they must convert it from agriculture into human consumption. So they'll help us. So the whole city is going to be self-sufficient in terms of water. So we're not going to have a problem. So once all this thing is done and dusted, it means we'll be having a very big town. Huge town.
So what are we looking at? Gated communities or freestanding?
It's a combination.
It's a combination, that side, so that it at least it looks also, the athletics that I was talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, to say if even if we should not find ourselves just putting bricks.
Yes.
And you find that the area, the city is not attracting people.
Yes.
Yeah,
And immediately after mall, you see, just between the mall and the Toyota, that land is owned by Solitayop. Is also planning a township. In fact, it's at the tribunal level, if not mistaken. Yeah. So they are also in an advanced stage. On the right hand side, you see a bush there, the jungle. Is owned by Mr. Boshoff. He's in talk with us. There we are not going to do housing development. It's just going to be mixed-use commercial development, because we need people to get employment. And then the town will grow towards Leidenberg. Then we'll be done with Beggersford in the next 10 to 20 years. The intention is to co-join it with Steelport. Yes, because it's one of the fastest growing region. Then it will be sort of a one town. Then as you'll be driving towards Polokwane, towards the end of this R37 construction, you'll see on the right hand side and left hand side, this is one of the mega development. It's called Mafolo Park. Yes. It's going to be a new town at this old.
Which road is that? Is it the
It might be the
road is a D or it's the
D? It's a RAL road.
Okay.
Yeah, it belongs to RAL.
Because your connectivity, I think you've already set the foot right.
Yes.
Because going to that side as well, I think consideration is the issue that I was talking about. To say, consider the issue of especially the sewer system. What you call it?
Yes.
Sewer somewhere. You understand the reasons around that. Because if this is gonna be your main city, where you, I think the main concentration here.
Yes.
That's where you must think about it.
Regional waste.
Yeah, regional waste, so that you can able to deal with that.
Maybe the director, Emasondo, you can talk about strategic thinking around the issues of waste management, regional waste treatment plant here, because in the end we want to have one unit called regional wastewater treatment plant. So Kolopi was just giving an example to say if it's closer to the river, it will be better.
Yeah, the current waste plant is quite small, looking at about 3 megaliters a day. So if you put something about 12 to 18, almost 24 megaliters once it's fully developed, then you can take care of this whole area, including this part of Steelport and the whole of town. Of course, centralize it somewhere here. So we just, of course, due to the issues of the WSA, WSP, we cannot plan further, but we do have a concept in terms of if we are to start planning, where do we regionalize, so that even as far as Abis Doreng, we just put a package plant and a pump station and we pump to the regional, then all treatment can be done in town. So this one has got a small package plant, but we've put it as the last phase of the development. So that by then, maybe it will be after 24 months, say for example, we'll have progressed a little bit in terms of planning the regional wastewater treatment works. So we might as well not spend a lot of money, but incorporate it. All the development you see in town, the towards the crossing, the Toyota, they are all using some small...
Coming to that side, because I was a bit concerned when I was analyzing the megaliters in terms of addressing the same issues. But if you look for the proposal that you have and the housing development that may come, you must think bigger, because with experience I know that you need to make sure that the long-term plans that you're talking about, you should be addressing, collecting whatever is coming. Because if you check, he was talking about the other development on the other side, and it's not going to be here only. When you transform even this one, you formalize. These people, they need the same services, you understand? So it will come back to the same area. So I think if you have that plan, that's a good approach.
Yeah, we have a good slope in town. I mean, we can be able to gravitate and find a perfect place for the waste treatment works that can take care of everything around the town. Of course, there's one plant already in Steelport, so we're not worried going further than that. It's a 24 megaliter. So it should take off of Steelport, the SEZ and everything going that side. But then we cannot gravitate from that side to this side as waste. It will be
now obviously there will be option. I think another part, city manager, the issue of water. Water is very crucial, because one of the things that sustain the municipality is when now you are in charge of provision of water, you see. So it's the same with electricity, because when you start to do these mega projects, that's part of what we do, I think, on our side, is to make sure that we support you. You get the, what you call it, being licensed to provide water, you see. So it can be done on a phases, like for example, looking at the formal area to say, okay, deal with the formal area because you are maintaining that area, you see. So that will assist the city in terms of collections, revenue, so that you can sustain the municipality. The same way with electricity. Once you convert it and do it into formal, that's where it comes in, you see. Then that's where you collect rates so that the city can sustain. I think those are the things, I think, along the way, let's try to bring them so that when we are discussing going forward, the relevant stakeholders like ESCOM as well as the Department of Water, they can able to come on board and support the municipality and the district as well. I think that's where issues
and also not forgetting balancing with food nutrition. Food security.
You see,
food security, because you'll find you are let me not even go there, because I remember where we are standing now. At some point it was agriculture.
No, we you see along this river stream, we've got a lot of agricultural activities. So one of the DOC's responsibility is to ensure that we conserve and preserve the agriculture. That is why in greater practice here, including Manok, we'll be having a lot of agricultural activities. In fact, we've got another big farm. It's 250 hectares. It's owned by Rural Development. It's called Jolopi. It used to be one of the best producers of potatoes. Yes. So we're working on that project. It's just that, you know, young people these days, they don't like hard work. If you talk to them about agriculture, it's something else. But is something that we have to work.
Just
on.
basically
we
urban
are-
agriculture.
Yes.
Looking at urban agriculture, because if you talk of development here and the farming part of it,
Yes.
that's why urban agriculture can contribute a lot.
Yes.
Because when you move out, that's where the issue of real farming
Yes.
that we talk about can be on board, and also I think support in terms of food. What do you call food security?
Yeah, we are looking at it from agro industry. Of having these big farms where you wait for rains, rather have your greenhouses,
Yes.
which are very self-contained, but they are productive throughout the year. Then you lead it into your beneficiation of what comes out of that becomes sustainable. Yes.
I think one other key component of our planning, it revolves around green energy. So we've already identified a few areas where we're going to put about 100 megawatt of solar plant. So we don't want to rely more on the grid.
Yeah.
So all in sundry, once everything is done and dusted, I guess the CFO will smile all the way to the bank. The municipality will be having billions and billions in the bank account, which we will use it in the rural areas. It's cross-subsidization.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
that's a model. Yeah.
Focus on the urban development, use urban development as a cash cow to develop the rural area. So that is a linkage between the rural and urban on our side. So that is a plan in a long run. CFO, do you want to say something? We are live here.
Come on, CFO. I'm waiting for this project to be completed. So
Come this side.
Come this side. So Ruben, come this side. Come sit at the back.
National, the MSDP
On
perspective.
what you were highlighting,
trickle
Mr.
down.
Kolope, regarding water, our negotiations with SDM is to say, allow us to have those rights for this greenfield project.
Yes.
You see, then we transition as we go.
Yes.
We take over as we formalize the villages and all those kind of things. But for greenfield projects, we want to have the water rights.
No, I think that is the same approach to say that, when we are on formal agri, that side you might find, because we are collecting here, we are going to be impacted negatively. But if you introduce it to say, in terms of this, in order to sustain ourselves, we want to make sure that give us these portions where we are developing and see how we run it. Monitor us. You see, I think the role of the district is to check as to whether are you performing it right or not. You see,
So we must
that
use
is the
the mushroom approach.
Yeah.
So it must mushroom itself. So Kolobe, I think one of the things which we raise in the formal meeting over there is IUDG and IUDF.
Yeah, that runs.
I think the doc, we need to work closely with the office of the premier, more so that Kolope, when he was still a director at Polokwane, he worked on a transition from a MIG to IUDF.
Yes,
So it will be easier for the team at least to quickly grasp and learn.
Yeah.
Because we are planning for 1st July 2026
Yeah.
to be
I think
fully
that-
transitioned into IUDG.
Yeah.
So we need to start from now.
Yeah.
So we
Process
can't
that
wait
now.
up until we meet all the condition precedents.
No, I think
Alright.
that's the right approach.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
also in our plan.
And the
We said
security
that we're going to
matters.
introduce
Yes.
it.
The security matters, urban versus rural.
But which is also good because you easily walk from your own urban into rural to visit your Magogo there. So it's
You
a
just
social
cross.
inclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sort of a social inclusion. It's like Gauteng. You find like there is a Centurion, Thechfield, there is Oliver Bosch here. There's Santen, there's Alexander.
Alexander.
Yeah.
Now that's
So
obviously transitional zone area, like this one. That's what you see.
Yes.
And then you will find at the end of the day, no one will recognize that that is not
Yes,
planned.
yes.
Yeah.
You see. Then you can incorporate it as part of formalizing it, but they don't know that you are
because
formalizing
even the properties
engaging
there
them
will
within
begin
the
to
same.
gain value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I think for the side it's quite interesting because you are starting on the greenfields, and obviously as a province going to see a new city that is starting. You understand at this level where there are no infrastructure, it's a greenfield. That's the best way, so that you can show that what the president have once raised. You say I want to see a smart city.
Yes.
You see that we have built, not that we find that it's already been built by other people. So if we design it right with the way you are structuring it, it can be the best model for the province when we roll it over to all the growth points. Yeah.
And also a contribution to a body of knowledge. Imagine
Yeah.
there are kids who have studied town planning. I mean, I can't mention municipalities. There are municipalities that are predominantly rural, there's nothing. You go there with the BSc or whatever in regional and urban planning, you see it, you get confused.
Yeah.
Because you're not even doing what you studied at school.
Yeah.
So here kids will learn, will come up with new concepts, principles. You see, this thing is called what you call a multiplier effect. I was saying
don't remind me of being at Fita Home. I started working at Fita Home from office of the Premier, 2006. When I walked there, I just walked there to the table and said, okay, they said there is 1, 2, 3. Hey, I was laughing at myself. What is it that I'm going to do here? You are a land use officer. They say I must go to the chief there, talk to them, advise. So if you check, you're right, because lots of, what we have to introduce now, the diploma have got it right. If at the rural areas they're not starting to change in terms of these plans that we have, of this legislation, they don't apply them. So we'll be moving backwards. So we're moving towards that so that they start to engage with planning now. Now we'll see lots of cities that are coming in the province. This one will be the pilot. Yes. Whatever it comes, we'll test by it.
Exactly.
And that you didn't have traditional leaders here.
We do have.
We do.
Oh, okay. I mean for...
No,
not this one.
Not
this is
one.
private land.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's a
But
good
across
thing.
the road it's traditional land.
Yes.
Okay.
But we are bringing them closer. Yeah, we want to show them the power of development.
Yeah.
Because remember, they should be part and parcel of development trajectory. In fact, we need to embrace the principle of public-private community partnership. Because they can still make money, meaningful resources out of the land is a critical asset. They need to leverage on it.
Yes.
You see, unlike when they just
100%.
allocate things to individual people, building spaza shops and all that.
Yeah.
So if we plan together, we regulate together, the better.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I think that's a good start.
And then from the LED colleagues' perspective, we are busy with the retail market study now.
Okay.
So we are planning to have motor cities here. You see your Audi, your BMW and other related uses. Everybody who has got the BMW in Skukune, guess where does he go to service? Either Polokwane, Middleburg or Nelspruit or Gauteng. The whole of Skukune. And yes, and we're proud now to say, look, because this is a mushrooming effect. You see, there is a hospital there. The doc did not speak about the other hotel. There is a hotel, 150 base hotel towards Lightenberg.
It's almost complete.
It's anchored by Garibu. Yes, so you can see we're coming. Because
that's a good
Garibu, which Garibu? Garibu.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Remember here, at any given time, it's difficult to get a bed. It's always fully booked.
Yeah, it's always fully booked. Remember that time during the presidential visit, we had to sleep somewhere.
Even now, if you can't see properly to go home because it's dark, you're not going to find a place unless you go sleep at doctor's place. That's the only option. So we are very, 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 very busy as a municipality. So development like this, I think, will assist our people. Yeah. So there is a lot that will come. So once we get this thing right, I think the province will be very proud to say at least
obviously.
we are doing something as a province.
That's true. Turning the soil, that's what we want.
Yes.
These theory things, we have to stop. We want to see development.
That is why we were not even asking of processes.
Yes.
Because we are tired of these processes, man. When we talk, this should follow this.
I always tell my team,
let's just do something.
I always tell my team, trial and error. Go and do it and say you made mistake. But don't just sit back and do nothing.
That is how the logo, you see the logo of Nike.
Yes.
I'm told that is how it came about.
Yes.
When they were struggling and then the boss ended up saying, no, just go and do it.
Get it right.
You can't get it right if you can't try.
As long as it's within the legal framework.
Yes.
That's it.
Exactly.
Whatever you are doing, as long as it's within the legislative framework, go and do it.
So we are happy colleagues. We can see the kids here, they can show that they've got the talent. In future will also be having sports facilities.
Sports facilities and all that.
No, that's a good thing.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, guys. Travel well. Thank you. To Polokwane. From next day, it's going to be tough. It will take you another 3 hours to reach here because there will be an extension. by Sandral towards Atok. It's another extension.
Oh, they are continuing.
Yes.
That is good.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's good.
July 2025 is this upgrade towards Atok. 2026, you see R555. They just made the rehabilitation.
Ooh, I once got
right?
stuck there.
Now 2026 is going to be an upgrade. It's going to be like this. Contractor will be in so you can see that Central, because they also got planners, right? They already know that this town is going somewhere. That's why they're investing a lot of billions into this area.
And I was
I carry with the roads improving this side and this becoming the closest route to Durban. Have you ever thought of the amount of traffic that will come here? Probably thought around doing a weight bridge for collection, something along those lines, because it is clearly shorter than the toll roads, the counting, and so on and so on. The second one, I think, when you do your tribunals with the new developments and the greening of things, you might want to think of how you can incorporate water harvesting by households.
Good. So, you know, I like the issue of green strategies because, I mean, that's the future. One of the days where we're only gonna, in the morning, wake up, switch on the tap, thinking that municipality will have a consistent water supply. We need to conserve and preserve water, come with new technology. So it means now, you spoke about Durban, right? To say it's going to be a short route to Durban. Also, remember, this is a corridor towards Mozambique as well. So
you know what we call it? It's a Dilokon corridor.
Yes.
People, they don't realize those things.
Yes.
Yeah, and in terms of your parking and tourism, you see how when we do the 3 roundabouts and what Mpumalanga has packaged, I think you can do something along those lines in terms of tourism. Just packaging in such a way that it becomes so interesting.
Yes. That's where Surufia now will come.
Yes, we are busy with the tourism master plan, and by the end of June we will then be able to finalize the master plan.
Come here.
Oh, okay.
Just come here.
You were there.
You are being supported by leaders.
Yes, we are currently finalizing the tourism master plan, and by the end of June we want to ensure that all our development plans are finalized. Come 1 July, we start with implementation. So if you have seen our strategic document being the IDP, in terms of all the KPAs, it's development of plans for this financial year. So that's why you see a lot of presentation today in terms of catalytic LED project, master plans, and because we wanted to have all the plans in place. When we knock in each and every door, then when they ask you where is your master plan, where is your, then we produce. So now we're finalizing, and as you know that in terms of the route, tourism route and the panorama route, so now we also going to find space in the tourism, but not only tourism master plan, but also the agricultural master plan. Oristad is our agricultural master plan. Currently we are busy with the fertilizer blending and also the logistics, and also we are finalizing the fresh produce master plan and also the abattoir. So we want to
don't forget the milling.
Yes,
company.
and also the milling.
There's a company that is producing mills in Bapalabora side. So they approach us to say, look, they've got a lot of clients at this side, and Oristad for them is more strategic. If they set up here, they'll easily reach the entire Skukune, entire Capricorn, as well as in Tanzania via Mpumalanga and so forth. So you can see private sector is coming in volunteer, but what is key is infrastructure, and proper planning, and proper planning. So that is what is.
I think you are on the right.
Even institutional infrastructure and capacity is also very, very important. Yeah, but I'm very much impressed already.
So what we will do, you see all these programs now.
So you have the system
in place
in the municipality.
You see what we'll do now, before we even talk about systems and everything, human capital, like you said, is important. So in my office, we're going to be reviewing the structure. We're going to have a manager dedicated to catalytic projects on a full-time basis to coordinate. Remember now, MM cannot coordinate everything. I'm busy in political meetings and other stakeholders. You need somebody at the senior level who will be able to handle this. And that person who will even pay him at the grading of directors.
Yeah.
You understand? He could be a manager but still be paid at that level so that we can attract the right people
the right
with a good
person.
understanding. Yes.
Okay.
No, I think-
it's fine. I think you're thinking.
That's perfect.
It's really
You
close.
plan, you implement. That's a good thing because without plan you can't really implement.
So one of the street will be called Dr. Maxwell Street.